black bastard.
These videos are satiric reviews. You don't have to agree, but don't bitch about it.
Hey there, I'm social injustice warrior V Infuso, and if you all would, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Liam Neeson. The man isn't dead, but let's face it, his career probably is. Liam Neeson, or as he's known in some circles,
the one and only Liam Neeson. I'm gonna break it down an octave talking about Liam Neeson's.
recently was interviewed to talk about his upcoming movie Cold Pursuit. And during this interview, Liam decided to drop this revelation. He told a story about how a friend of his was raped, and that he'd in turn took it upon himself to go to primarily black neighborhoods to pick a fight.
I'll tell you a story. This is true. She told me she had been raped, but she handled the situation of the rape in the most extraordinary way. But my immediate reaction was, did she know who it was? What color were they? She said it was a black person.
And wait, no, pause, what? Why? Why was that your first thought?
I went up and down areas with a cosh, hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something. And she said to me, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm just going out for a walk, you know." She said, "What's wrong?" "No, nothing's wrong, fine." You know, so that I could kill him. I'm ashamed to say that. It's awful. But I did learn a lesson from it, and I understand that need for revenge, but it just leads to more revenge.
What if the answer, what if it was an Asian? Would you be like, oh, nah, never mind, I'm not gonna go to Chinatown, those motherfuckers know Kung Fu? I mean, I'm trying to get into your mindset here, but I'm not quite comprehending it. I mean, if you're looking to track them down like this is Taken 4, wouldn't there be a handful of better questions you could ask, like, where did this occur? Or even just more simple ones that don't make you look like a semi-prejudiced grandfather? Maybe something like, what did they look like? I mean, there's a lot of black people out there, Liam. Were you just thinking that you were gonna beat the holy hell out of everyone you saw and hopefully somewhere along the way you hit the right one? I mean, it just seems like you could've went into this with better knowledge or a better plan. This is by far your worst revenge scheme, and you know what? This is kinda your thing. On top of that, how does this even come up? Like he was doing an interview to promote his movie Cold Pursuit. What would he just sit down and start recalling the worst things he's ever done? If the interviewer would have let him keep going, sooner or later he'd give the full behind-the-scenes details on the nut job. And just when you think OSW were the most racist Irishmen you'd ever heard, is it bad that the first thing I thought of was,
I don't know who you are.
but what color are you? Liam, we all felt for you when you died in your last flick. But now I'm pretty sure your fake wife Viola Davis is wishing you were dead in real life. It's just so weird hearing this dude say all this, and in your head you're remembering that he was also in Schindler's List as the good Nazi. Liam, how's it possible that someone that sounds as intelligent as you opens his mouth and says something so fucking stupid? You know what, I haven't been this disappointed since I saw The Haunting. Your credibility hasn't ever tanked quite like this, and that's including after you made Taken 3. Here's another quote of his. I had never felt this feeling before, which was a primal urge to lash out. I was trying to show honor, stand up for my dear friend in this terrible medieval fashion. I'm a fairly intelligent guy. Well, that's to be debated now. And that's why it kinda shocked me when I came down to earth after having all these horrible feelings. Luckily, no violence occurred ever, thanks be to God. Yeah, thank God. Thank God I didn't go out and commit a hate crime. Jesus, what were you thinking, Neeson? I mean, come on, you were Qui-Gon Jinn, man. You were Qui-Gon Jinn. Okay, now that we got all that out of the way, let me make a surprising stance. I don't think that Liam Neeson is a racist. Now wait, hear me out on this one, because I imagine a lot of you might have already gone to clicking that dislike button, either because of this stance currently, or the fact that I'm so terribly untalented and unfunny. Liam was sharing a story from about 30 to 40 years ago, when he was a lot more naive and a lot more stupid. And I actually think his point in telling the story was to actually discuss a learning and growing experience, where he'd realized that even though he was doing something with good intentions, that being defending his friend, not going to beat up some random black dude, even though he was going into something with good intentions, he was in the wrong. I'm almost more than positive the point of the story was that. So ultimately, do I think that a punishment is in order? Me personally? No. But I also think he shouldn't be rewarded for that tale like he meant right, but like, you know. I think for the time being, he should just lay low for a little bit, and probably hire a new publicist. Or at least someone to just shove a donut in his mouth anytime he's about to say something stupid. I mean, that's what I did, and that's why I no longer show myself on camera. I think Liam was trying to show that he had since bettered himself, and he was telling a precautionary tale about how anger can at times make you think and act entirely irrationally. It's clear from the story and the way that he told it that he wasn't glorifying his role in it, and he wasn't pulling any punches either. He was in the wrong, and he was confessing to his wrongdoings. But how on earth, in this day and age, with political correctness being social brownie points, could he even think about telling this story? How did he not see how the media was going to sensationalize and demonize this story? I want to make it clear, in case I haven't already, Liam is clearly in the wrong. But the guy knew he was in the wrong 40 years ago. Do we really need to judge people for who they were 4 decades ago? I mean, short of a murderer or a rapist. That one I understand. Some things you can't change. In my estimate, no. People grow. They change, and they learn every day. And it's clear that even during this story, he was acting out of love for a hurt friend. His heart was in the right place, but his head was clearly up his own ass. Is Liam a bad person? Nah, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know him personally. You know, I mean, we're not going out for an Irish coffee. But from all that we've seen, all that he said, I just think the guy's a lot less educated than we all gave him credit for prior to that interview. And Liam, for future reference, if there is a future to reference, you know that some things just are better off left unsaid, you know? Not everybody needs to know everything about your life. You know, you're like a 60, 70-year-old man. I shouldn't have this conversation with you, Liam, all right? This is a conversation I would have with my teenage cousin, you know, who posts too much shit on Facebook. Went to Starbucks today. Went to the movies today. Went to 7-Eleven today. Go fuck yourself. And then you could post an update about that, too. Because you know what? I don't need that crap in my news feed. So with that being said, I'm the social injustice warrior V Infuso, and if you like the words that came out of my mouth hole and you too want to become a VTard, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's plenty more where this video came from. Follow me on Twitter because, hell, why not? It's not considered stalking if it's on the internet, am I right? And don't forget to join the Discord. I don't have anything catchy to add to that, but just join it. Just go do it. And if you have a free moment of time and a free $1 to spare, then head over to my Patreon, where for just $1, you too could help keep this boat afloat. And if you don't have that $1, but you do have a free moment of time, then hit the share button. It will help me out tremendously.
VTards, oh.